And then comes the most interesting moment. How do you plan qualification with your partner? How do you ensure that, for instance, he is already a silver gold director? How to bring him to the master level? How to help him achieve a turnover of 20,000 points? How to plan his development together with him? This is already a leadership skill. The next stage, the fourth stage. And from this, well, let's say it already depends, well, you understand your further qualification depends on it. And this message is most likely relevant for people who are at the master qualification level, probably because before that, well, most likely, it is not yet relevant. Therefore, if you are watching this video at an earlier stage, consider it just an introduction and a glimpse into the future of what you need to do with your partner. And perhaps try to imagine that you need to do this with your superior, let's say your mentor. The first thing that happens after the event, to which my partner brought 20-30 people, is the perfect time to gather his team for goal planning and direct them to align with their mentor's goal. Imagine the idea, you brought 20 people, you are a goal director. What does that mean? What if these people now engage in the goal, let's say, for you to become a master, that is, with a turnover of 15-20,000 points and beyond? For this, they need to grow, naturally, and each of them, if they become a director, 20 people, each of them becomes a director, you can actually skip all the qualifications that were before. Even if you are a gold director, in 2 or 3 months, the master qualification can be achieved. This happens when the entire team thinks in the same direction. They understand that essentially he is part of a larger goal, they can rely on him, and he gains responsibility not only to the higher sponsor, but also to me as a leader, master, and mentor. And all this gives a person additional energy, additional motivation. That is the inclusion of the mentor in the goal. A few important points. At what moment does this become a reality? For example, the very phrasing, let's align with my goal. I want to become a master. You should, well, kind of, and if phrased incorrectly, you should help me with this. At the very least, it doesn't sound quite natural. That is, the goal is set correctly where you join my goal and I help you grow. And accordingly, your partners do the same. That is, all our goals are interconnected. This understanding needs to be instilled in your partners. Next point. A person will only commit to your goal if they have trust, respect, and gratitude towards you personally, so that they have the motivation and desire to do something for you. How does this manifest? It manifests through building relationships beforehand. Every time you visit, every time you work with him, every time you are there when he struggles, all of this is your contribution to the relationship system with them. It's like a bank account, if you will. If there is a lot in the account, if you have invested in your person, they will automatically be grateful and will try to return that energy, yes, the desire to help you grow as well, meaning they do something for you. I believe this is the ideal system of relationships between a mentor and their partner. But if you haven't invested anything in them, haven't visited them, haven't held meetings, haven't worked with them, you can't just say, join my goal. Naturally, you might provoke a backlash, like, I won't do anything for you. And this will cause the most significant failure in our business, a system of broken relationships with the sponsor's vertical. That is why it is important to build relationships correctly from the beginning, so that when the moment comes and people return from an event, you can map out, take a board, and assume there is you, your partner, and his entire team, and you map out all these 20 people, showing where each one is located. And you ask these people questions in turn, yes, and I always start from the bottom, from the very, let's say, 3rd or 4th generation, yes, and people who have just joined, and we start discussing his goals for the next month. So, let's do it this way. Look, you came to the event. What is your first goal? If the event was effective and targeted, meaning it set the right programs, the person will 100% tell you, I want to be, let's say, a director this month. Great, wonderful. What will you do for this? He says, I will plan the work with the list there. I will do this, this, and that. And we set a goal with him. You hold 30 meetings a month. That's your task. Got it? All right. Yes, got it. All right. You are a director. We take the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th person who are at the bottom. Then we move on to their sponsors who brought them in. I am saying the following. Look, you already have 2 or 3 partners. They have declared that they will be directors. Look, you already have a qualification. You are a gold emerald. The person says, wow, cool. Look, my people have grown and he didn't even plan for this. Maybe even being a newbie at that moment. In other words, you help him expand the boundaries of his goals. Because very often people are afraid to set goals for the reason that they might not achieve them and they don't know how. They don't have that roadmap. You need to be the person who clears the fog. Imagine a driver who is accelerating without a map and with fog in front of his eyes. You tell him to set big goals and move at a fast pace. He doesn't know how to do it because he hasn't had the experience yet. You need to help him with this. So you say, look, you have 3 to 4 people, they are already becoming directors. Are you helping them with this? Are you setting a goal for yourself? Do you have new branches? He says, yes, I do. Once, and we planned the qualification of an Emerald director, we take the second branch, we take the third branch. This conversation usually lasts for about an hour. And we approach your partner, remember, the first one who came to you, and we tell him, look, you have 20 directors in your organization. Look, this is exactly the time when you can become a master. And you tell the whole team, guys, can you imagine if you now align with your mentor's goal, then this month he can become a master. He could be awarded on stage. You will elevate the status of your team, and your mentor will receive a real estate bonus, and all of this will work in your favor. Imagine how powerful and strong your team is. And now imagine you will do the same with your partners, telling this story. And you summed it all up into such well, I don't know the right word for it, but into such a, burst of energy. And when the entire team commits to this goal, it is usually at this moment that new masters are born. I have in mind the moment when Konstantin Tarnopolsky became a master. I remember how he and I gathered the team and did exactly everything I just told you about. It was in the office in Kyiv on the left bank. His team was sitting in the hall, we were together with him. I was on the stage on the left side, he was on the right, and we were listing his entire team. He has 12 directors. When we laid all this out, people got involved in the goal. How many new directors do you think appeared in a month? You don't have to guess. Maybe you already know this story. In 1 month, he had an increase of 15 new directors. In 1 month, and Konstantin grew, his turnover doubled in a month, and he skipped qualifications and became a master. This story, as they say, has already become part of our legends. We pass it down from generation to generation. This is how explosive growth happens. Hear me now. Never project your future based on your past. In your past, you took a long time to reach silver, gold, and emerald. You might have faced difficulties, but you were preparing. And when we talk about a master, you might think, well, I became an emerald in a year or two, so in a year or two I can become a master. This is an absolutely incorrect strategy, and the lack of understanding of how qualifications are achieved here. You need to understand that at the beginning you are gaining experience, you are laying the foundation. You acquire skills, and you can reach a turnover of 10,000 points per year, and then become a master in a month and double your business. This is what is happening now in our teams, literally with every other person, as people are growing at rates that even I could not have planned before. This is called critical mass. It's like a snowball that you accelerate and then it almost goes uncontrollably. That is, it develops even without your participation. Nowadays, I often show the development history of my partners, and different networks in the chart. And all these charts have practically one pattern. Initially, you prepare, and then there is a sudden explosive growth. The millionaires, their stories are not just in our business. They will all tell you, I have a huge fortune, I have enormous assets, but the main foundation of the business I built in a very short period of time. Before this, there was preparation, and at a certain point, there was explosive growth. The same thing happens in our business. At first, you invest here, and then you reap the fruits of what you laid down at the very beginning. That is why your task, first of all, is to form the right attitude throughout this journey. When a person does not have great momentum at the beginning, but understands why they are doing it and grasps the essence of this business. And at a certain point, working through events, what we have been talking about will happen. In your team, masters will start appearing practically every month. Then the master became a master with several top performers of his own, and they became leaders the following month. Until recently, I had 1 to 2 masters in the organization. Today, the number of masters has reached 15, and all this happened in just 1 year. How did it happen? Exactly as I just told you. We discussed several stages in these 4 videos. Let's summarize them all now. First, this is the preparation before making a decision. Second, a person makes a decision and you start working with them on the list, helping them refine their partners. The third stage, you teach the person how to conduct meetings, how to invite people to 8+1. And the fourth stage, you help your partner achieve the qualification of master by including their people in your goal. This is the perfectly right development strategy. And in this way, you will truly cultivate powerful, strong, independent, and most importantly, self-sufficient leaders who, in the long run, can become even better than you. I wish you all to find people who are stronger than you, because that is the essence of our business, for each new generation to be stronger than the previous ones. Success.